You know, Ray Giudice, defense attorney, it would seem to me, given that she's a pathological liar, that she's going to choose someone who treats her with kid gloves. Or the other perspective is that she's such a pathological liar that she believes she can pull the wool over someone's eyes. Who do you think would ultimately get an interview with this woman?
Well, I don't know, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of preconditions. I don't care how much is paid. These news media outlets are going to bend over backwards and agree to toss her softballs, easy questions,
right,
allow her to develop her personality to sell it for other media events.
Ray Giudice, defense attorney, something strikes me as interesting about the family. If I'm not mistaken, the jury foreperson said that most of the people on the jury really felt George was connected somehow. I'm more interested in hearing from the family. I think the ante should be up for them.
Well, there was certainly a lot of feedback that George did not make a very credible witness. And what you're seeing is all of this internet and blogging, all the action that's out there on the internet and the social network against the Anthonys is actually working to raise the ante and the value that they're going to be extracting from the very same people who oppose Casey Anthony.
Ray Giudice, here's my question. I hear people now referring to Jose Baez as another Johnny Cochran. To borrow from the old political debate, I knew Johnny Cochran. He may be a decent guy. He's no Johnny Cochran.
Yeah,
Johnny Cochran was a veteran, brilliant attorney, right, rest his soul. You know, so how do we go from this guy who was literally made fun of during the trial to now he's the god of all defense attorneys? I mean, what is that about?
Well, I don't necessarily think that's the approach from members of the bar and the judiciary about Mr. Baez, but on the biggest stage of his career, he got the victory. He's entitled to enjoy it. I do agree with you. The O.J. Simpson trial was not Johnny Cochran's first big dance. He had a legendary career, and he is beloved amongst members of the bar. I don't know if Mr. Baez will ever make it to that status, but he is entitled to get out of this financially what he can get out of it.
Ray Giudice, where have they been is my first question. And secondly, is there any merit to someone who could prove he is the biological father filing a wrongful death case?
Well, the biological father would have what's called standing. That means the appropriate person to bring forth the lawsuit. So it would be possible. Where have they been is the great question. Let me just pursue the out-of-the-country issue for a second. What really may be going on here is you move Casey Anthony out of the United States, set up her offshores corporation to park these financial assets, would make it very difficult, not impossible, but extremely difficult to enforce future judgments.
Ray Giudice, I want to ask you, George Anthony has always denied that he ever molested his child. Casey, could he file some sort of suit against her? I mean, his life, whether he did or didn't, his life is ruined, perhaps. Well,
let's say not only he's always denied it, there's not one shred of evidence that it ever happened. So let's start from that position. Could he sue for slander and libel? It's very difficult. Most in-court talk, conversation, opening and closing statements and arguments is protected free speech. He would not have a strong case.